So we are now joined by someone, and in fact we can speak to somebody who has made that very journey across the Channel. Khalid Ismail travelled from Sudan via France in August 2020. Very good morning to you, Khalid. Thank you for joining us on the programme. Let's talk about the journey then, first of all, because it's not just about crossing the Channel, is it? You've come an awfully long way coming from the Sudan. Tell us about your route and what it was like.
Good morning. Well, the route cannot be described. You stay on the streets, you have all the cold, you have all the memories attacking you. So it's like a journey, makes you exhausted mentally, emotionally, physically. It's not that
Get
easy.
across the Mediterranean?
I had different. I didn't cross the Mediterranean. I crossed here the Channel.
No, I know, but how did you get from Sudan to France?
But it was a long way of having false document, sneaking from country to country.
And what was it about the UK that really appealed to you?
I like my case, being able to speak the language was at least a motivation, knowing the society is welcoming, and I will not get very difficult to integrate within the society.
Khalid, what was that journey like across the Channel? It's only 22 miles at its shortest point, but it is actually quite a choppy stretch of water, isn't it? And it's a very busy shipping channel. It is very dangerous. What was that like for you?
Well, we know after we came here it's only 22 miles, but we spent like 17 hours in that channel. It seems endless for us. Yeah, and it's like you fold your eyes and you cross a highway, just like that. You have
and
all
were you on a dinghy?
Yeah.
And what was going through your mind when you were on that dinghy? You say 17 hours spent in the Channel. You must have been really scared, frightened.
I think we lost the sense of scare already a long time ago, since we left our countries and our beloved ones. You don't really scare you. You think of, okay, I have saw death before, I face it. I'm not that scared of having to face it again. But you will just think of all the beloved ones and all the memories you have. That at least the thoughts I had. I wasn't really thinking of drawing.
Can you swim, Khalid?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
but not
Say again.
Not to cross the Channel, but yeah, I can swim.
Not. Well, of course, we saw people drowning this week who could swim as well, so it's no guarantee of a safe crossing. Tell us a little bit about how long you were in Calais waiting to make that crossing, what the conditions were like, because we've heard reports of the camps not having running water or proper sanitation, a stark contrast to, I presume, the conditions that you're immediately given in the UK.
Well, there is no actually a camp in a sense of camp. It's just your tent, your sleep bag, and you just find a good tree to hide behind it. So there is no actually camp. Running water is like, it's like Christmas comes once a day. You wake up in the morning, you don't know what you're gonna have to eat today, when you are gonna have a drink. It's just like that.
And were you intercepted, or what was the situation when you arrived in the UK?
We were intercepted by the force, and thankfully they put us safe to the shore.
Khalid, what made you want to leave France? Because I know lots of people really struggle with the idea that anybody would risk their life in the Channel. Like you say, 17 hours in a freezing cold Channel, very high risk of drowning. Why would anybody want to do that if they're in a safe country such as France?
Well, we're staying on the street on this freezing cold. It's again risking your life. not to live a normal life or like with the main basic needs like food, like drink. It's risking your life. Being under the trees is risking your life. So just add it to the list of risk in your life, because that was life being in France.
And obviously, you say you were intercepted by the border forces. It will be up to them to determine whether or not you are. I assume you're applying for asylum in the UK. It will be up to them to determine whether or not you can be granted that. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And that's ongoing, is it?
For me, it's been decided, thankfully, and I'm granted.
You are allowed to stay now. And so what has been, you've been welcomed with open arms. Do you feel grateful for that? I mean, there'll be people in the UK who feel as though we're a soft touch. That there are plenty of countries between the Sudan and the UK where you could have sought refuge from the problems that you were suffering at home. And people will be watching this thinking, well, now you'll probably be appealing for your family to come and join you. And it all, at the end of the day, however callous it may sound, has to be paid for by British citizens.
Yeah, it's true, but not the society is welcoming. That's true, but by the end of the day, it's up to you to really to integrate to society, to start having your life. All of us, we used to work before. We are we are asset, not that we came here to rely on the taxpayer. We had a life, not the most successful lives, but each one of us has a profession, has something to add to the society and to the country. And to the thing of crossing France, as France is a safe, democratic country. Yeah, it's true, but not less. Let us not forget the fact that refugee, it's like a pressure card between the countries to, like in the politician aspects, like we are used to put pressures on other countries. By this theory, all migrants came, or most of migrants came through Greece, Spain, Italy. So by this theory, all migrants should stay in all these three countries. But these countries will not allow all the numbers to stay there. They have to be spread in Europe. So.
We're almost out of time. There's so much I want to ask you.
Yeah.
But I just want to ask you this one last question. If the Home Secretary, Priti Patel, had implemented her offshore processing centres, which have been suggested could be in places like either Albania or perhaps Rwanda, would that have deterred you if you knew that as soon as British authorities had intercepted you, you'd be sent to another country and perhaps be waiting there for years whilst your claims are processed?
Well, it's again for me, it's the wrong approach to the issue. This will not solve the issue. Maybe have a
Would
bigger.
It have deterred you?
Bigger.
You'd have thought you could end up in Rwanda.
Well, yeah, definitely, but it doesn't sound logical for me.
Yeah.
You're saying it's the wrong approach. What do you think is the right approach?
Maybe the bigger right approach is trying to solve the bigger problem in the countries, because we are the outcomes of the wars and the dictatorships in our countries, under the nose of all the European countries and United States. So maybe trying to solve those problems. No one would like to escape his country. No one like to leave his home, the place where he grew up. Okay, that's outcome. You cannot really solve it by okay, France should take all the blame, pointing the blame on each other. Okay, try to sit together, have like logical solutions. For example, I read about the solution of pushing the dinghy back. I was on that dinghy, and trust me, the amount of frustration you have it tried right then. If anyone tried to come closer to push you, and not even to push you, just to talk with you, you will be drowning, because people are just frightened and scared.